Director VIF Dr. Arvind Gupta ji, Secretary Department of Administrative Reforms Srinivas ji, Mr. Ambassador Anil Tirunnath ji, our respected audience. It's a great privilege to be here. I'm here for the first time, sir. And thanks to Srinivas for inviting me to be part of this Vimar's discussion. I start with extending my heartiest congratulations to Srinivas for heading an international body, International Institute for Administrative Sciences. My best wishes to my friend Srinivas. You heard him summarizing on the book Viksit Bharat at 2047. It's a wonderful publication brought out by IIAS, where he is going to head in collaboration with Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. And I had a privilege of contributing one chapter in it, chapter 13. Thanks again to Srinivas. When he called me one day, I was Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, that I need to contribute on urban sector. I was so happy to see that all my experience working for a long period in the urban sector could be brought down in one article. He mentioned that you don't have to cross 3,000 words. I don't know how come 1,700 pages had come. For me, he said, don't cross 3,000 words. I made sure that it is less than 3,000 words. Thank you, Srinivas, for giving me this opportunity. Well, I'm not going to talk to you about my chapter here. He mentioned that the book is available online. You can download the chapter and read it. I am going to speak just about my chapter. As urban sector is so much important. Honorable Prime Minister, in address to the nation on 15th August 2022, that is Amrut Kal, when this Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav was getting over on the rampart of Red Fort, he stated about Panch Pran. The very first pran was Viksit Bharat at 2047. There are four more. That Viksit Bharat at 2047, this resolution of the Indian nation, our people, which has been stated to the Honorable Prime Minister, will be realized only through nation making an effort as Team India. We have to contribute towards each and every essential parts which will make the nation Viksit in next over 2 decades. In the last 10 to 11 years, the fundamentals have been properly set. The way infrastructure has developed, the way governance has reformed, the way our country's population has become more and more aspirational, the way the whole ecosystem has been developed, it is all set for making the nation developed by 2047. And cities are going to play a very, very important role in this. It is said that cities are engines of economic growth. The country gets its fuel, country gets its power to the cities, because this is the place where people congregate, and all the factors of economic growth, they are all tuned in such a manner that the economy grows with a much faster pace. The cities have to play a very, very important role. 2011 census, our urban population was just 31%. It is estimated that it will be around 36 to 37% now. Our population in urban areas will be around 46 to 47 crores. But it is projected to be over 88 crore by 2047. Almost double of the urban population which is today. We are creating one Chicago every year. That is what Indian urban population is. And this is also when our definition of the urban is very, very, this is not the definition which is used across the globe. Our definition is the census town and the outgoes. Otherwise, this population will be more than 50%. Even with that kind of a definition, we are going to be almost double in the next 25 years. That is the pace with which urbanization is going on in India. We have ignored this over the last, the planned period of a long period. It is only somewhere post 2000 that we had some ad hoc approach to the JNNURM. But post 2014, when the Honorable Prime Minister took charge of the nation, the urbanization has been in the forefront. And various kinds of missions, various kinds of approach, which I'm going to summarize. The summary of what has been the thinking and what should be the thinking ahead to make this country a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Three major things which has been the focus of urbanization. And before that, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, in his address on the very first anniversary of the three major schemes, Smart City Mission, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and AMRUT, Atal Mission for Urban Rejuvenation and Transformation in Pune. What he mentioned is urbanization was seen as a major problem in this country. In fact, a person who is from the rural area and he is living in the urban area, if you ask him, he will always say, I'm from the rural area. We have taken pride in being from the rural area. But what Honorable Prime Minister mentioned in that conference is that urban areas, they digest poverty. The very fact that the large population from the rural area migrate to the urban area and they become prosperous, they develop some livelihood, they got some livelihood opportunities, and they beat poverty. So urban areas they digest poverty. So we should not shy away from urbanization. Rather, we should make urban areas much more stronger so that it digests better. The metabolism process needs to become better so that it digests poverty. The country will, you have already seen in the last 10 years, more than 26 crores of people have come out of the poverty line, multi-dimensional poverty line. This is urbanization plays that kind of very, very important role. Three major things. One, improve livability. That is improving the living standard of living for the citizens. In fact, we started something called Ease of Living Index for the first time. We rank the cities based on who is giving. It's a new paradigm. When I talk about the new changes in governance, I'll discuss about that. That which city is best in providing the citizens better quality of living. Cities are number one, number two, number three, and there is a competition among the cities. Every year there is Ease of Living Index. The first point is livability. The second is employability, employment opportunity, or economic ability. The cities, why are people coming to the cities? Not only coming for quality of living, but they are coming for getting better economic opportunities. So how you can improve the economic ability of the cities? That is the second task. And the third is sustainability. You may do that. You can improve the quality of living, but maybe for 5 years. After 5 years, everything goes back. So how you can make socially, economically, environmentally sustainable, provide that sustainability. That is the third focus. These are the three major focus of the whole urban agenda in the last over 1 decade. So many missions have come to ensure that these three major things are done. There may be a complete change. The governance transformed. The whole style of governance in the urban area has been completely changed, and I have been witness to that. In fact, I've been participating in that. Right from 2014, I joined as Additional Secretary, Urban Development. And in 2017, I became Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and two ministries were brought together. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs was sum total of Ministry of Urban Development and Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation. And then later again, I became Chief Secretary, which was implementing things on the ground. So 10 continuous years, I was working on the urban agenda. So what are the major changes in the governance? The very first change is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Sabka Prayas. Urban development is not going to become driven from the top. It has to be driven from the bottom. Whether it is Smart City Mission, whether it is AMRUT Mission, or whether it is the Swachh Bharat Mission, all missions, the people should participate in what should be done for them, because the cities are at different levels. Some town area, some Nagar Palika, some Nagar Nigam, and even Nagar Nigam at different cities, they are at different level, different levels. So they need to, what is their aspiration, where they want to reach, what they want to achieve. Let the people participate so that there is a sustainability. There is a ownership, and that is how the whole program was developed. We all participated. It's not only the smart city, even AMRUT and Swachh Bharat Mission programs like this, they were all to the people's participation. This level of engagement, people's engagement, has never been there. I've served in the government for 4 decades, but what started in 2014-15, that kind of people's engagement has never been there, whether it is in planning or whether it is in the execution. Number 2, competitive cooperative federalism. There is some kind of a competition among the cities, competition among the states. Nothing is granted. Earlier, whatever is planned from the top is executed on the bottom. People expect that I am poor, so I will get more. I don't have much development. Whether I perform or I don't perform, I get more. No. Your performance, your aspirations, your requirement, all these things will be addressed based on there is a competition. And the competition, for the first time, the new paradigm shift, that it is not automatic, it is not granted to you. People wanted that I need 10 smart cities. No, you get based on your population, based on your number of cities. These are the maximum you can get, but you may not get even, you may get at least one for the practice. I mean, so that you know that there is one smart city in your state, but beyond one, if you participate in that competition, participate in that challenge, then only you can get it. So this kind of, I mean, not only for the smart cities, various other things. I can give you 10 other examples where we got the states to participate. And also there was more faith and trust on the states, more trust on the cities. I had been Principal Secretary of Urban Development in Uttar Pradesh during the UPA regime. I used to come with 20 officers to the Ministry of Urban Development for getting our project done. And end of the day, we'll go with, out of 6, we'll go with only 2, 4. Some questions were raised by the states. There was not much trust on the states. But here, the central government was only providing the outlines, overall plan. The states were supposed to lead. So states had more confidence. States had, and that is the new governance style. The new governance style where the states and the cities are empowered to perform. And once they perform, and the central government kind of, there is a watch, there is a kind of coordination, and there is a kind of information exchange, so that some state is doing better, some state is doing lesser, some is doing some middle path. So there is some kind of a that coordination, things can be brought together on one line. There is a very major focus on ease of doing business. I mean, how you can make things much more simpler by use of technology. It was very difficult to get the construction permit done. Our rank in World Bank ranking of ease of doing business in construction permit was 186 out of some 190 nations, 190 plus nations. We brought it to 27 in just over 5 years. And it was not a joke. A lot of hard work was done. And with this hard work, and this is, the idea is not ease of doing business in construction permit, one idea. This was replicated in various other things. Making things easier for people to perform. Making things easier to happen. I mean, it was not possible to do your housing for 1 crore, more than 1 crore housing was not possible over a period of 5 years. It was possible only through the ease of doing business. So that was a major focus. Reform, perform, and transform. That was a big mantra given by the Honorable Prime Minister. There was a continuous reform. Think of the RERA. RERA is a complete, is a pre-RERA regime and post-RERA regime. Pre-RERA regime, I mean, maybe some of you who are here must be struggling with the property which you have bought in various cities. It's still not been delivered that house. You do not know whether it will be delivered in your life or not in your life. How much was promised and what was delivered on ground. Everything, but there was nothing coherent. The RERA has brought the discipline in the housing sector. There was so much of opposition from the real estate. Despite all that, we fought in the court and we got RERA implemented. And now you can see there is so much of discipline in the real estate sector. Even the real estate sector, people know that. I mean, they are much better off. Much more professional people are coming to the sector, which was not the place for such persons in this real estate business. New things like model tenancy law, tenancies of 60s and 50s, which were completely adversarial to the interest of the house owner. Think of it, our 2011 census, 1.1 crore houses were lying vacant. This is, I'm quoting the census figure. And we required only more than 1 crore houses for people who do not had house or who had houses which were, I mean, not in good conditions, not in a livable conditions. Why so many numbers of houses are lying vacant? Because people did not have guts to. They did not dare to put it on rental. If they put it on rental, they will not get it back. So now we have the tenancy law which balances the rights of both the owner and the renter. Their rights are. So this is a very, very daring step which were being taken. For the first time, rental housing scheme was launched in India post COVID. Rental housing scheme. We always had ownership housing scheme. And now that has become part of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana 2.2. I had the privilege of starting this post-COVID affordable rental housing complexes. A lot of people are living in the slums only because they cannot afford houses outside. Now the people can have houses, rental houses at affordable prices, and they don't have to live in slums or they don't have to travel a long distance. They don't have to pollute the city. So this is again paradigm shift. Now there was a new approach. It started like Swachh Bharat Mission was started in 2014 October. Housing scheme was started. Various AMRUT schemes started only for 500 cities. But the 2.0 version, they're all into the saturation mode. That we cater to the requirement of the urban poor or those who are living. This is to develop inclusive development. That everybody gets a housing, everybody gets a toilet, whether it is in the public place or in their house, or everybody gets a employment. All these things are now being implemented in the saturation mode. This was never tried in India. And ambitious schemes like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Earlier to that, only 8.5 lakhs houses were constructed in over more than 10 years. Some of it was completed after 2014. But ambitious target of 1.2 crore, and that 1.2 crore was sanctioned, and more than 90 lakhs have already completed with all the facilities. So such ambitious schemes could be taken up. The technology was used as a big multiplier. I mean, technology was used as an urban secretary or even a chief secretary. Unless I had used technology, it was not possible for me to control or to oversee all these progress in the urban areas. I mean, seeing so many, whether it is the Swachh Bharat or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or AMRUT schemes or infrastructure schemes, it was all possible through the technology. So technology was used in a big way. Technology was also used for master planning, like GIS-based master plan, the new approach to the urban planning, local area plan, town planning scheme, the new way of planning. Earlier planning had been mostly sectorial. This sector, this sector, this sector. Like this is mostly to the residential. This is commercial. This is say industry. Now multiple kind of things can happen in the same sector. Is a new approach of urban planning. I mean, this itself we can discuss. I mean, long discussion in there just on the urban planning. The ICCC, Integrated Command and Control Center. Now you come and see, I mean, whether it is in Delhi or in any of the smart cities, all 100 cities have integrated command and control center, which are used for various things, whether it is the movement of the, whether it is sanitation or whether it is water, whether it is transport or anything, or public grievances. You can see the power of the technology through which the cities have now the brain and the city has the nervous system. They can take the decision, they can work on how to provide these facilities, amenities to the citizens in a much better manner. The infrastructure. See, only few I think couple of months back, Honorable Prime Minister, when he was inaugurating, it was announced that more than 1,000 plus kilometers of the metro have been made operational in the country. More than 1 crore passengers are traveling on the metros every day. Now through the electric buses, they are all, I mean, being used in a big way. So there is more focus on environment, more focus on the making sure the pollution-free movement transport in the cities. There is a major focus on the urban poor. Pradhan Mantri street vendor Atamnirbhar Nidhi. The ready patri wala, almost 1 crore, more than 90 lakhs. This was, I mean, I had the privilege of starting this immediately after the COVID first phase. And this is one scheme which is back to back, it's complete digital. There is no physical, I mean, intervention on that. So far, more than 90 lakhs ready patri walas have been benefited by this scheme. And the default is not even 5%. We had estimated the default will be about 15%. So use of the technology in a big way, even for the poorest. UPI, they are using UPI in a big way. You go to any street vendor, you find that they are using the UPI. There's so much of penetration of UPI. SVANidhi to SAMRIDHI, all the schemes, they are being directly connected without even applying for it. Somebody will approach and say that you are eligible for this scheme, you are eligible for this scheme. Again, use of technology. Vikas bhi, Virasat bhi. There was another focus, Hriday scheme. Under the Hriday scheme, I mean, the cities like Varanasi, Mathura, Badami, Amritsar, Ajmer, I mean, all these cities, they were taken for, they are all known for their cultural heritage. But that heritage to be preserved, a very special focus scheme. Now the Tourism Ministry has a scheme called Prasad. So there is a whole governance, the way we governed the urban areas. This has been completely transformed over the last 10, 11 years. And now, since we are on the path to Viksit Bharat 2047, which is not possible without Viksit Nagar 2047. Our cities have to become Viksit to make the country Viksit. We need to learn from what we have done in the last 10, 11 years. There is a Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0, which will go for complete saturation. The cities has to become garbage free. The cities has to become, it is not ODF or ODF plus, but water plus. There is no dirty water flowing here and there. AMRUT 2.0, every household gets the kind of infrastructure where there is a water, sewer, drainage system, all these things are there. So this is moving into that mode. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, another 1 crore houses under the Prime Minister Awas Yojana 2.0, and more of the rental housing rather than the ownership housing. All this needs to be the smart city mission. People ask me this question, which are the next smart cities? Well, smart city was more of a learning exercise. This is the brainchild of our Honorable Prime Minister, where 100 cities were selected so that we know how we can make the cities smart. There's a lot of learning, whether it is ICCC, whether it is making our streets smart, whether making our roads smart, energy smart, education smart. How do you do that? You have learned just with additional 5 to 10% of additional cost. The infrastructure is very much there. Put another layer of the technology, and that technology will make sure that you get the maximus. Again, quoting Honorable Prime Minister when he was launching this smart city mission, he said in just 3-4 words, what is a smart city? Getting more from less. Just that's all. Getting more from less. If you have so much of resources, how you can serve more people using the technology? That means you have to cut down on the wastages and you have to encash whatever is available with you. So this getting more from less, this mantra needs to get into all the cities. We have nearly 4,900 cities, almost 5,000 cities are there, and the number is going to grow very fast. How we can do that? We have learned the new technology in the civil engineering, so global housing technology challenge. We have to master that so that our country, the present growth, even it moves much faster, it should be sustainable, it should be resilient, and it has to be environment friendly. How you can do that? This is all the learning of the last 10-11 years. If you take that forward, definitely it is going to be the Viksit Bharat 2047. The ICCC, we made ICCC. One ICCC cost 100 to 150 crores. We don't need to spend now. Today we have the technology. In fact, while I was Secretary Mahua, I had already developed this ICCC as a service. You can get it for a fraction of paisa. ICCC as a service. We only have to, this I had developed through the Bell, Bharat Electronics Limited, and I've asked them to make a commercial model, like you buy a window, or you buy, various kinds of this IT systems you buy, and you pay only few fraction of paisa. This ICCC can be used even in small towns with a population of 20,000, 30,000, with the program hosted on the cloud. So we need to use the technology in that way and take India on that path where the cities become so place where people can come and realize their potential. They can contribute their best towards making India Viksit Bharat. So, this is the summary of my paper, which once you read it, maybe you'll get much more of it, because this is written in a much detailed manner. So if you have any query, I'll be very happy to answer you. Thank you.